dolphins. Important things. We have a cat too. Alright. Can I drop the quality on my side? I can. It's actually nice that they actually added that now. I don't know if people noticed that the used to be only affiliates could do it, but lately I've been getting it where you can change the quality of the stream, so you can up it or lower it, whatever might help you in terms of your viewing quality. Gotta move my monitor. I've been playing Final Fantasy VI, and I can straight this over to my bed, like on the arms, so I've been laying and playing that, and it's been fun. So hello everybody. Working on stuff. Actually, oh, okay. Wasn't sure if I actually had the leaves on this one or not. They're back there. Hello. Do want to say if there is anybody that has any specific questions or wants to see something I've done before as an example or for reference, feel free, because that's the point of us being here, is to answer questions and stuff. So don't feel that you're interrupting or something. I feel I am happy to oblige. So anyways, what were we working on last time? I think we were working on this one. I like how when I opened this file, I was already at 3 gigs for use. I think I'm gonna make a note to myself, and I wish I had my sticky notes around here. I don't. I'll put something to remind me. How about put a pair of scissors. I want to split the save file sometime, so that, or like, but by next stream, so that I'm probably gonna do it in 3 pieces, and then that should drop the memory usage by quite a bit. Well, if you remember, otherwise, if you like comment on the last streams on, like, well, I would say on YouTube, but yeah, I'm kind of been slow on loading that. Twitch has got me lazy when it has the last 2 weeks worth. If you just send me a direct message or something, I get an email and I keep track of them, and I try to write something down to just cover it in the next stream. Even if you're not here, it's in the recording then. All right. I still don't like the way the moon looks. And I think that it's just what bugs me is that these details are just stand out too much. But if I remember right, when it's zoomed out, it looks, or it zoomed in here. Yeah, when it's zoomed in here, it looks fine. I just think that there's way too many details for what it is. It should be washed out a little bit more. Oh, the clouds here are actually super easy to do, and it's the same method I use for doing this one. For getting these clouds to look as they are, because they are actually 3-dimensional as well. I just know it's the same cloud model. You can see it, that there. I mean, wow, I didn't even realize how much the lighting is what makes the difference, but you can't really even tell that they're the same model. At least it never popped up in my head as such. I might want to change that up. But anyways, all I really did was just take that cloud model and just shine a light at it. I think, let me see here, I got a couple different lights here. Cloud light, bright. Oh, actually, I thought I was going to have specific ones. So I have one for doing, so this is what the clouds look like without the lights. Non-existent. So there's a dim just to make them so that they have some kind of light, and then a bright, which is focused on just giving the light towards the middle of the clouds. And then you put the two together, and it just kind of gives a feel that the light's hitting closer to the cloud. I don't know. With this one, the difference is I actually have specific lights aimed at certain parts. So I aimed a light at the bottom part to light up, because the sun's coming from here, to light up that part, but then I have another one up here, mainly to light this cloud, just to make it feel like it's separate. And then, again, on the bottom, some of these are really poorly placed lights, but it didn't matter, because in the end, from this angle, it looks fine. So it's just lighting that bottom edge. I feel if you're trying to solve everything with a single light, you're probably not finding the best solution. And so I don't think I'm gonna have to bother changing anything here, because I think for how quick this is. But I did look into some things on how to do lighting different for at a distance, and I kind of feel like I could improve some things. But I think this one actually looks fine for how short of time it is. Yeah, this should be fine. Yes, cat. Okay, yeah, I think we were playing with just this one specifically. I'm trying to think if there's ways to buff this up at all. I thought about adding rocks to the edges here so that it looked like it was, because you could have the rocks zooming past, but I don't even think that they would really go that fast past. Let me try it. Do you know if you use scatter particles? They give a brighter tree mood. Particles, no. If you're talking about a brighter tree mood, because really it's just, if you're talking about just doing like a daytime sky is what you're trying to do. Yeah, it opens up to this much. That's why I can't play this from beginning to end, otherwise I crash it, and that's why I gotta split it. Pretty good shot right there. So you have to specify whether or not it's like a day shot or what the specifics are, because it's, in terms of a sky particle, if you try to make a sky or like cloud base with particles, you're going to be using the same model a lot that's going to be moving uniformly, and it's going to be hard to control and light. That's why I've been doing it now, where almost any time I have rolling clouds, the scene crashes me a lot, but I'll try it. Like in this one, the sky is all just ones that I did, because I was able to have some move straight, some slightly turn, some do a 180. I was able to actually create something that was a little bit more random, because a lot of the particles are going to do pure random. They're just going to be, and by doing pure random, usually you're going to have an even distribution. But clouds and stuff aren't evenly distributed. They should have pockets, and particles aren't, I think, very good at doing that. So I had to do kind of a manual touch for that. But otherwise, just for sky, the main things I can recommend are if you're doing a picture, stay away from sky domes. Sky domes usually have uh, low quality, and they're useful because it'll allow you views for 100 or 360 degrees all the way around. But normally you don't need 360 degrees. You only need like 40. So what's the point of having all this detail stretched all the way around this whole area? There's only one shot in this entire thing. I think I'm using a sky dome, and that's because I needed it for a sky dome. And that's, I think, where's Pony? There's Pony. And that is this one, because the camera actually does a 180. So, and even here you can, the sky dome didn't work very well, and I had to stretch it. But then this pops up here, but it hides when it's passing through. So that's the only thing the actual sky dome I have. But the quality, if you go to like say this shot, the quality of the sky is much higher because I was able to just take a single picture in this one and utilize that instead, and I can replace that easy. While making a sky dome custom is super tough. So and if you want to change angle with this, easy. You just move it to the next shot. People aren't going to notice a difference in clouds. So as long as if you have the same shot, the same angle, you don't change it, nobody's going to notice. Hell, you could probably just keep changing the way the clouds are shaped in the background of every shot, and nobody's going to notice a difference. So, but yeah, I recommend that. And then if you can turn off the lighting for it and just shine lights at it yourself, like that's what I did here. I actually have lights shining at this sky dome, or not sky dome, the skybox, to where it creates like if I were to have a white texture in there, it wouldn't give the nice glow as a light could. So okay, broker. That's just stuff I've learned from doing guys myself, is that sky card over sky dome, and light it and kind of color it through lights if possible. I'm trying to think of another example where that this one. So I mean, this was done, all those are separately done. The sky itself is lit with lights. What's the cloud lights? So yeah, here. Oh wait, those are, I think, volumetrics. Yeah, those are volumetrics. But even without them, you can see that glow down here. If I turn off the horizon, you get these. But even that's pretty good. Well, that's for the mountains. Is it just one light for the sky card? Ah! It's one light for the sky card, but with everything else. But even that, you could like light part of the sky just a little bit differently. Anyways. I'd rather over-explain than under-explain, because then you're getting too much information other than not getting what you need. Would you better have the clouds being formed if it were to make... if I were to make it where I can use thick white smoke, if it's 1 or 3 clouds around. Well, in terms of like being formed, you shouldn't, like, if you wanted to have like clouds expanding, that's kind of what I was doing here. Is I just take, if you have multiple overlapping clouds, you just have them turn, shift, and move. Like originally I took all these and I positioned them where I kind of wanted them and had them all move at the same pace. Then I went through and I would take one of them, and over time I would just slightly turn it, and then I would slightly move this one, and just do slight little differences between them all. And when you have a lot of the ones that were overlapping start doing that, it looks like a rolling cloud that's actually expanding and moving and growing. But like this only is I think animated to go just a little bit more in the shot, yeah. But even this is just, again, just a bunch of the same cloud models. All they're doing is heading in one direction and just turning oppositely. So like these ones look like they're expanding a little bit. And it's 3 models, I think. So this one's going this way. This one's at the front kind of moving across it, and this one's moving this way, and they're turning opposite directions. So, but it gives the effect you need. Gotta fix my freaking wheat though. It seems like every time I open this, it's broken. I think I'm gonna have to, when I go to render this, animate the wheat and then render it immediately. It's fun. Okay. Oh, I think I did it to crash it. Where's it auto-saving? No, it's not auto-saving. I think I crashed it. There's something with the gold pedal scene that's not working correctly. I saved it before, now I'm worried about it. If I try to cross that into the next shot, so let's take the gold pedal one or the one afterwards, that the software just poops on me. And I don't know why. I'm thinking that there's an alpha texture there that has a missing number. I actually figured that out a while ago. If you're having a crash that when you are rendering or you enter a shot that always renders after a specific amount of time. If you've done any overrides, check to make sure that any of the overrides have a number in it. I had an alpha that you're supposed to have a number between 0 and 1. And I had nothing. It was blank. So it was, I'm guessing, a memory leak. That something was going on in the background that was causing a memory leak and building up memory in the background, and just over time it would crash because it hit the end of it. As soon as I fixed that 0 and 1 issue, it's perfectly fine. Get some. Yeah, I was gonna put an extra ground model up here and see what it looked like. And then for the depths. Okay, I don't think it's gonna look good. That's not what I want to do for final, but yeah, it does not look good. It kind of, what I was hoping for is that I could get something that would portray distance a little bit better, but from what I can tell, it's not going to do it. I think having the expanse of the ground makes it feel fine enough. If anything, how far is this off the ground? This is a good ways off the ground. I wonder if I should drop the camera more. I was just kind of hesitant to cross that because I know that's going to cause a crash. So let's do from here to here. I think the main purpose for me being higher was to try to maintain longer shadow. Plus, are we gonna crash again? Yep. The shot's gonna suck. Yep. Didn't matter. It wasn't gonna keep that anyway. Alright, I'm gonna do a quick check on that to see if I have any alpha errors. Worried. You know, I've gotten used to knowing what things are going to crash me and where it's going to happen, so I have the habit of Control S before I do anything. It saves me a lot to be that habit. So I don't want to actually go into the shot. I just want to click it. So who has overrides? I know you're going to. Your base texture override, that's fine. Alpha 0. Okay, you have a number. Alpha 0. Still have a number. Base texture, that's fine. I don't think I did anything with the tree. Ooh, I did. Okay, so it looks like all I did was change the base texture, but that's not gonna have an effect. But this, and I didn't change anything on that or that, so that's gonna be fine. None of these. Oh, these do. These have overrides, but I'm not utilizing them? Why am I using overrides then? Really, there's no point in having it on if they're not. I'm not going to go through all these though. This is just going to be a texture override. Yeah. Particles aren't going to do it. Yeah, these all have values. So that's not causing it. I don't know. I'll have to fuss with that later. So I said to make sure I don't play that through. So, okay. I don't think it's going to do anything, but I can try it. You know what? Let me see if this will work too. Shouldn't enter the scene if I do that. See if that works. Alright. Thing is, even with that problem, I've been able to render it fine. Like, it renders that shot like no issue, but I guess I can't look at it. You guys keep me on task too, so. Alright. I think I'm just. I feel like I still need something here. Did I shut some lights off here? Oh, those are all of them. Because it feels big and empty right now. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I was thinking about adding some kind of a particle that looks like it's coming out from the door in a way. Because originally I was going to add people, but I don't think I can make that work. Because any of the people, I don't want to have them in the light of the door, which means I have to put them here. But when you look at how the camera is positioned all the way to the end here, they would, even if I position them to look at her, I mean, for half the shot, up to here, I mean, they'd only be popping up in the last quarter second, and I'm like, that's not even worth it. So I think that's kind of cool. I think I'm going to try to find some kind of cool particle effect to have it weave out of the door. And I think I know who might have one. You know it's going to crash and I have to redo it, but still, I want a bigger screen if I'm going to do this. There we go. Much better. I forgot his name. There he goes, keep it play. So I need some kind of a wavy, like, particle. He's the guy that I got this from, that the particle that we use for the lens flare. I thought he had some kind of wavy particle, but it might be thinking somebody else. I know I've seen one because I used it once before and it was glorious. Warlock should have pretty stuff. He has fire. Even fire could work. You know, these little lightning bolt stuff, I tried using them for like lightning bolt type things. It just doesn't look right. SFM does not render that stuff right very well. I think the particle I'm looking for isn't even on a unit. If you actually check my Twitter, that picture with Rainbow Dash lighting behind it is on there. Like rendered out and clean. I never checked Sniper. I should probably actually someday just go top to bottom of these, because they have some this just has some amazing particle effects. That's a pretty good smoke effect. And actually, if you're anybody's ears able to download this to take a look, it's amazing the particle effects that you can get under Dota. And there's so many of them that you could probably have anything you want to make's probably already been made to some degree. Like here's sparks shooting out, but even that you could modify to make that a good firework or something, or even that would work. Still not what I'm looking for though. I know I've seen it, and that bugs me now. Clink's probably gonna be like machine stuff. It's gotta be magic based. It was like a crystal beam thingy. That's a pretty teleport. Yeah, you don't need to have a powerful PC. SFM is limited, but um, it's a lot of the like full 3D software. While it can do a lot more, it also is able to manage its resources better. The main thing you're going to run into is if you're, or with that, is when you're actually going to render it, or if you want to preview it. SFM is great because you can usually preview pretty easily. Ooh, wow. I wonder if that would work. This is probably not going to work the way I want it to, though. I'm thinking about it in terms of of churning it and expanding it, but it looks like it's all coming out of a single point. And if I change that to a long streak, it's probably going to destroy it, because lots of these little dots look like small groupings of those dots, because every now and then one gets flown out. I'm looking for some kind of a because when the door opens, I want some kind of a smoky fingers of energy, I guess the best way I can think to describe it. Because to me, otherwise, the door feels so bland. Like, there's too much space there to be taken up. And the original it's based on has a lot of that type of energy look. And so I kind of want to do that. That's kind of a really cool effect. Actually, that's probably all animated GIFs. Yeah, I bet you it is. I'm gonna pull that up. Ha! Awesome. The video I was using for reference of the music video is no longer allowed. Wonderful. Which means I don't know if I have a reference anymore. That's not good. Well, this is in English, but it should at least... Yes, it'll still give me the video part. It's with this song, actually. So this is actually a version I'm using. So this... It is... this part afterwards. No, wait, here. Right there, this shot. So, like, kind of like... There they use kind of like small little snakes of energy. I'm gonna go with something different. But this, I want, like here, it just by the end of the shot, it has a lot going on. And, ooh, there's that cool, kind of a cool mirror effect there. I didn't even think of that. I can do that though. But I want something like that. But I know I've seen it before. There was this really cool effect. This like tower. Let me even check. I bet you it's not even under that. I bet you it's under like radiant effects. I think this is actually looking familiar. Because I used it for something. I can't remember anymore though. It was for and I used it for two pictures. I used it for a Luna one. I swear it was one of these though. These have a lot of models though. Oh, this is looking more familiar. I think is this one? If I can get this one sideways, this actually could work. Check Luna. Okay. What is it using to modify itself here? Is it doing a movement basic? Yes. Damn. Movement basic is... Well, no, because I could probably turn this then. Still going up. Is it in Saphir? No, it's not. Oscillate vector 90 to negative 10. So we're going to do 95. That actually could work. I still want to kind of go with the other idea too, but that could work. So we're gonna go with so I'm looking for good Ancient 001 Desperate Beams Thin. I'm not gonna remember that. Run and cheat. Yay. I remember things at work. I'm not seeing any others. Alright. I'm going to go with this one right now, but I'm going to probably go back to the Luna one too. Okay, good. Ancient 001. Just... This is probably not going to show everything here. Agent 001, so it's going to be ending in beams thin. Sprinkle beams thin. Alright, got it. So this is going to be starting at, I would say 72. I'm only going to go for a few seconds. Okay, so there's a huge area they cover. I don't want to doing that. And then from control point snapshot. Alright, if I disable that and disable that. Okay. SFM is a thing where it doesn't like particles that aren't spawned in a specific way, so we're going to just spawn, forcibly spawn it in our own way. So I'm going to have it all along a line. So I'm going to position them along position within box. And I only want this to be tall. I don't care about it being anything else. Okay, so this is spawning all the way up. I'm going to do like I did in the other one. I want to change this. We're going to say to 90 and 5. I don't know if this is the right direction right now, but it doesn't matter. Okay. And I want to make sure that this is not just taking off upwards. So I want to take this. So the gravity is a it's a consistent accelerating force in a direction. That's why movement is having it at 350 usually means that particles are usually, or a lot of them are like light or low mass, so they'll float. So by having a positive number, it will float and start accelerating upwards. If you have it a negative, it'll start accelerating downwards like gravity. And then drag is how much it wants to pull back on that, which is kind of a weird thing of like, why don't you just change the speed? But the drag can have a big difference, and it kind of be annoying. So I just changed it so that gravity is in a direction, which is what these are now doing. I wanted these to be at specific points these were spawning from, though. I think that might be what one of these are doing. Okay, no. Okay, so I don't need this one. So this one's snapshot is putting it I don't know what that even means. Control point snapshot. This force will be placing it along the ground on a flat position. Field to read position. Okay. So that's kind of understandable why, but still, you gotta make. Oh wait, I wonder if. Oh, I don't think I can turn that. That's fine. And we want to. It accelerates and then literally stops. Oscillate vector has a kill time? No. These do, and then. So this starts 0, 1. So if I shut this off. Okay, so it'll keep going. This is what's it's increasing the drag. Oh, okay, I see how that works. So it's accelerating, then they turn this on where it's the same amount of gravity, but they're increasing the drag, so it kind of starts slowing it down. But I don't want that. Stupid. Color fades going to gray, that makes sense. Actually, you know what? I don't want it to fade. Unless it's gonna actually disappear. Ah, they can fade out, that's fine. Color random, I don't want blue. No, I want more white. I don't mind having a little bit of blue, but not like a teal. Okay, let's see how that works. We're gonna up the particle count too. Put it at 300. Sitting good. Okay. All right, and now I need to figure out what direction these are going in. Right now, I don't see them. Let's start that right. Start time 72. 70 55. Okay. So it takes like 2 seconds for it to start. And I want to slow it down. Probably gonna actually put it past my time here. want this to still turn. I don't want it following the door. This is also going way too far from the door. So we're going to slow the particle down. I'm also worried about how these are going to show on render. Yeah, that's the other thing. And this needs to... It's going this way right now. I need it to turn that way a little bit, so we're going to take our oscillate vector, figure out what direction that is in. So 30 is this way. Negative 30 or negative 10 is that way. So these ones we need to add something to. Okay, that's the right one. Kind of shooting it all over the place, though. Oh, yeah, because now it's going to have this wider area to choose from. So we will. I'm going to give it a specific amount to from that direction. Yes. Did what we needed it to. Okay, so when the door first opens, actually I should just do it like this. I'm just going to choose the door here. So I'm going to pick this point. Door. Left door. Left door. This one. I might need to slow it down quite a bit though. And shrink them. I don't think I need it this tall either. Oh yeah, that goes way too high. Okay, animation group would put in the name of flex part under group name highlight that flex part is just ungroup. There might be a small spelling error in it that you don't know. Oh, and if once you change the name of something, it's not an automatic change. You have to tell the model to reload it. So if you have a model here, make sure that you go to utilities and then rebuild control groups. So after you make a change, otherwise you're not going to see that actual change take place. Also, what does it mean when a control name is indented? The indentation in there means nothing. If there's a purpose in it, I'm not sure. Is this a little recent? Yes, but nothing that I want. So like in being something is indented underneath it in this way, like under face or eyes, it's just a way of telling it how like groups are and what. But other than that, I don't know. I don't think there's any purpose in it. But yeah, if you're seeing something under unknown, The only two things I can think of are you have to rebuild it, or check to make sure there isn't a letter that looks like a letter and that's not, or that there's a space when there shouldn't be a space. There might be something hidden. But yeah. I have to go through and update this. I haven't done that for a little bit. Like, you know, it's long enough as it is. I don't think it has to be case sensitive, but it probably doesn't hurt to be, at least to ensure that it's still with the same name. Well, I'm gonna test that right now. Let's just check here. So we got it's just a facial function, facial something. Angry eyes. That's an upperface one. Angry eyes. Does not look like it is case sensitive. Just to make sure it wasn't something else. Nope, that did put it under unknown. So yeah, it is not case sensitive. Yeah, if you don't mind, that's fine. I've never made it public because I felt like I'd be stepping on Zappy's toes because I kind of took his and then heavily modified it. That's why I have at the top here when I last update things and originally modification by Zippy. Sorry. But yeah, it's only been 2 months. I thought it had been longer than that. So yeah. Actually, I might have this already in my Dropbox. Yes, I do, but I'm not. Yeah, I have an updated version, so I'll replace it. Do you know that you can have multiple different control groups running on different models at the same time? If you change out the name and then rebuild one and not the other, it will stay that way on both models. That will have separate builds, even though they're both technically referencing the same file. The only problem with doing it that way is if you were ever to go and bake procedural bones, the baking of procedural bone reruns the control group check. So if you have it like that and you go to do that, you are going to undo what you did. But you can technically have it loaded twice then. But I have a thing of every time I load up a model, if I see something that's under unknown, I try to add that. Like here, it has under static prop under unknown. Really, if I wanted to make this actually, why don't I do that? So under body, it has root transform. That would actually be a nice change to make. See, it has root transform. I'm just gonna say dupe. Oh, let me actually open it in the good program. It has dupe. My favorite function. My two favorite things about a notepad: Control D duplicates a line, and Control T trades them. It sounds simple, but it's amazing how much time you can save. Because otherwise, for trading, you have to go copy and paste, and yeah. I'm just gonna add one here. So we're gonna do static prop. Bam. Now anytime I load a model, it'll put static prop with control. It sounds like such a simple thing, but that is actually really useful. Then I don't have to open up multiple different ones to see each other. I can just have it under one. Just boom. Rebuild. Actually, why is root transform under body? That always felt weird to me. Probably because... Where else do you put it? I guess because like here you have your body with head and whatever, but so I guess it makes sense. I think it's just the ponies that are weird because the ponies are structured in their own folder in their own way. But yeah, whatever. I thought about recoloring some of these too, because like these are colored to be right is red, green is blue, or blue, I don't even know my colors, green, and flexes tend to be an orange. That's just a standard, but I thought about coloring these too, or coloring jiggle bones, because like this is another cool thing you can do. So I'm gonna bake this, and I'm gonna be like, okay, jiggle bones are cool and all, but I want a different color for them. So we're gonna go up and grab something else's color so I don't have to deal with it. Group color. Bam. We're gonna go down to jiggle bones. Okay, and this is a blue right now. So let's just make this 32. And that's green now. Higher number, good. Okay. So I want 255. 55. That is way too bright. Let's do 180, 90, 180. There. I'll jiggle ones are purple. It's fun knowing that stuff. Okay. Alright, even with... But that was slowed down, wasn't it? I thought I slowed that down. Oh, it's sped up because I did those changes. Okay, so I just need to slow it down again. So I'm just going to go half speed. So we're going to do 10 and 15 and 2.5. 10, 15. I'm going to keep this actually at 5 because that's just the up and down motion. I'm also going to take the lifetime here. I'm going to increase its max. That'll allow some to keep going, but others to die early. And I want to have this continuously go... Oh, that's why I was starting late. And no fade out. So it'll just keep going until it runs out of particles. This didn't need to be so high. I figured that out. So I put that down. Put the particle count at 1500. Okay, so it keeps going, but it's not... Oh, here we go. There we go. I like how gravity is actually set to pull it back. Or no, that's not gravity, that's the actual thing. That's actually cool how it does that. have to drop that speed to almost nil though. Reduce random. I'm gonna go to smaller. And slow this down even more. At least I got that part to work now. But I want to have more of them. Just gonna kill my engine. How high am I going and how high do I need to go? I drop. 200 maybe? That should work. So it kind of works. I want their deaths to be a little quicker though, or at least kind of looks like bees swarming or snow. It's kind of a cool snow. Actually, that'd make a really good snow because you can see some actually floating backwards. So this works, but I want to drop its lifetime to 0.5 at the beginning, so... Something spawned really weird there. Something is set to turn on. That's kind of neat. It's not that. Actually, I think that's important. Oh, I think I know what. Oh, it's not. It's just having an issue trying to think, I think. But what I'm thinking about doing is having this one stay as it is, but having another one respawn, but just have them go quicker. But even then, I just feel like I don't know if it's giving the effect I want. I think I would have to have an absolute buttload of them to make it work. I'm gonna go look at that Luna one and see if that's got something to add to it. What did I hit that for? That's fine, I knew I was gonna have them. Because trying to match this number of particles is gonna be nigh impossible. And that's got way too many. Particle beam to controls movements. Sometimes you can find, like, if you do a rope that's an A to B point, it's usually a particle that will stay maintained between 2 points, and you could stretch it to make it like an expanding beam and just put one at the end of it to create like a cap, and then but then you can control where you can keep one stationary and one moving. I don't know what you'd find with like that, but usually rope is going to be what you're going to want. What do I got? Nah, I should have got any of the wave stuff. I know I've seen it though. This is bugging me. I used to write down here and there, and I just never do anymore. I know Dire Effects has some cool stuff, but I think that was more of explosions. You know what? I know a good way to find it. If I can find out my naming conventions. Yeah, item sets are pretty good ones, but I know the one I'm looking for, and it kind of having a cool aurora effect. I forgot what I call the picture. Oh, I never posted these. Too late now. This one. This is called Embrace. Did I name the picture that? Yes, I did. Sweet. That makes that easier. I think it's this one. Good ancient 001 rotating wisps. I'm just using the dots from them. It just sounds like the right name for it. That's all smoke. Oh, this is that wasn't it. Why is this one not showing? It is that one. I'm just not able to see it. Okay, so that was good barracks range 01. I don't know if it's going to give you the name of where the particle is located, though. No. I think I know what it would be under, because it's good barracks ranged. That sounds like something that is going to be an attack thing. See, this is called range, but that's not good range. Good ones. Where's the other one I use a lot? Base destruction. No, not that one. No, it's usually Dire FX is what I use. That's bad ancient. Well, we're one step closer now. It's got some pretty cool ones too. What was that? How do they get that to happen? Oh, a lot of stuff. Because it goes and then it hits afterwards with the upwards motion. Noise vector with the delay. No. Cool tornadoes. Particles named these. But I was gonna figure out where that particle is, because it's good barracks range, which means to me it's got to be, and I already looked through these, within the main folder, because it wouldn't be in the main, other ones, because those are person specific. That's a cool effect. Oh, it's just a animated thing. I don't care about trees. And I'm only going through the ones that I have seen before, because I can remember which ones I've opened before. I should remember from there. But this is such a cool particle effect. That's why it bothers me. I can't remember what it was. bother with this. We'll play with that later. At least try to like animate dash or something. I'm sure her ears are. Oh, her ears are locked, and they shouldn't be. I kind of want to make her step forward just a little bit. I just want to see if this will work. She's not moving here, is she? No, she's locked in place. How does that position look? Looks fine. Okay. I feel like she needs to do a little extra step afterwards. So I'm right now I try to think of beginning and end and then work my way to the middle. So right now I am only working on the end point, which is a slight body motion. Nothing extreme, just enough to create a little extra oomph. Eyes, okay. So if I take off that face, okay, then everything's okay. So to make sure I'm not breaking something. Actually, I probably should unlock. I realize I am missing her neck bit. Okay. I'm doing it here, but I will be jamming it further to the side here. So that Alright, I need to... There we go. Work. A lot of it is whether something can bend like that doesn't matter as long as the camera angle looks fine. keep it like that for now. I'm probably just gonna have to change some other stuff with it, but that's fine. So she hits the edge here, and then I want to have her essentially go right to that. So we're gonna go right to this, and then too fast. Head motions and all that I'm not worried about. I want to get the body stuff figured out because that's the stuff that I can't really change that easily once it's locked down. The thing is, I don't even know if it's even worth it because you can't even see her her leg. Only thing I think of is take. If you can't see the leg, it's not going to be a matter, but I can extend it so that the leg drop goes to here. Could probably mess with the camera too. They'd probably make it more of an emphasis on the leg dropping though, but I could. Nah, I don't know if it's going to be worthwhile. Nope, not gonna be worth it. I think it's just gonna be better to stick with the one that we got going. I'd have to take it away from a headshot and drop it down to a mid shot because right now it's right in the middle of her body and you can't see any of those motions. This is basically not gonna work. To make a camera do a full 360, that's actually really easy. It's just not easy to it takes a little bit of practice, so or at least knowing what the software can do. But no, I can show you that. It's easy, but it does take adding in another model you might not have known you needed. So I am going to. Software's going to crash, so I'm going to do it for it. Let's just setting up a quick shot here. Okay, so we have Boney, and so if you want to get the camera so that it rotates around the person like perfectly, the one difficult problem with doing that is you have only one bone on this camera. Well, a lot of other models have two. So what you need to do is you need to split it. So we're going to load up a helper model, and it's called a helper, but it doesn't matter. I just use it because its only purpose is for being helping, and it's pretty low poly. So we're going to take this and we're going to lock this to, or we're going to lock our camera to this at first. So this is the outside bone, poly surface 1. And actually I should open that or add that to my body one. I got all the other ones done. Here's my body. There we go. Let me just do it on here. So we're gonna do. This is body surface 1. Look at that. So what we want to do is we want to have this camera locked to the end of this. So this is like the main bone, and then this is the one that can kind of break off from that. So you can see it's still at the main position, but now it's over here. So we're going to take our camera and we're going to take this poly surface, lock it to there, so that no matter, I can't really do it when flying as the camera, but now if I take and I turn this, now you actually see it's turning the camera from that position. So we're going to take this little helper and we're going to lock it to Derpy's root transform so that it is in the position of Derpy's root. I'm going to unlock it because I don't want to actually worry about that. So what I'm going to do is just take this poly surface and stretch this out. I'm going to get a second report here. Okay, so now you can see what the camera sees. And we're going to put this up. And there, now it is looking at Pony. Pony. Okay. So, this axis helper, this secondary one is out here, but the transform is still in the middle. Really, to make it rotate then is you just spin the transform. And voila. You have a spinning camera. Oh, you can just hide the helper. And since it's at the root, it'll be perfectly centered on that. But the downfalls of doing this is that if you're used to free flying with the camera, do know that if you are moving the camera like this, you are in essence, or while you're flying it, you can't have it playing. So like if you were to hold, so I'm in the camera and I hit play, it's now fighting because it's trying to stay where it is. And it will save all that motion, which is now getting confused. And it does make flying with the camera in any way difficult because it makes this other model have control of it, or superseding control. Oh, the bring back to life, yeah. But it has other benefits because having an extra bone for the camera is pretty useful. For one thing, if this is spinning around, you can then say that at the beginning, I want the camera to be down here. But then at the end of it, I want the camera to be up here and looking down. And voila. You know, get that. But you have to think in the mindset that the camera is now, its front, backwards, left, and right is all based on, or its zeros are based on wherever that is moving. So if it is rotating, its forward and backwards are constantly forward looking at the model. So if you're wanting to suddenly like drift off and focus on something else, you're going to have to also modify how that helper is doing things, and it can get really messy. But I've utilized that to, or this trick to do the, where I can then also take the helper and I can make it go further away with time. I'm not sure where the other direction. So go further back. Have a cool effect. And if you want to do a 100% perfect spin for GIFs, which actually is pretty useful, say you want to have this go from 0 to 10, or no, from 1 to 10, we'll say. So I'm just going to put this, it's going to start at 1, like so, and at 9. Actually, I'm just going to go, just do it from the beginning here. So we'll just do it over a 2-second window. 7 to 9. And so I'm going to do what I see as approximately one full circle. The important thing here is that everything is zeroed out too. So if I go to my root transform, you see that everything is 0, 0, 0, negative 180. That's good to remember. So I'm just going to take my root and I'm going to spin it. And you can see the little yellow lines that pop up. I'm going to go around until they're about on top of each other. But I don't want to go over it. Just as close as I can on still the inside. We'll call that good. And then I'm going to go in here while this is still all orange, and now I'm just going to reset this to 180. So now this is a perfect spin. Well, spins sometimes don't like they want to go back. I think I should probably go over. I think I might have had that backwards. Yeah, I had it backwards. Okay, yeah, you want to go a little over it, not a little under, because otherwise it's always trying to find the fastest way back to a specific point. Because with a rotation, it doesn't always save how many times you're doing a rotation. It's saving, if you're saying it's not going the full thing, it's saying go to this point, but then it's saying, well, my fastest way back is to go back around, so it'll just turn back. So, so yeah, if you go a little past and then bring it back, you're seeing at the negative 180 instead of just regular 180. And then all you have to do is take the 7 to 9, paste it, and the camera is now back at the 0 position, so you won't even notice, even if you zoom way in, it'll be a nice smooth transition. You won't even notice that the head went. So now you have a 2-second loop. You can have that loop as much as you want. Go bam, so then you can have it go keep spinning. They're getting dizzy. But I do recommend that if you're going to do a lot of extensively complicated motions with the camera, that if you have a consistent motion of a camera with a lot of nuances of the motion that require locking and looking at specific things, I recommend that you separate the motion of the camera into having the majority of the motion for like movement on a separate model, and then have the small nuances of keeping the camera focused on what you want on the camera. Because if you have a lot of fancy motions, like so say you have a camera that goes up here and then it goes over here, you know, it's well, it's probably, let's just do it so it actually makes sense instead of just throwing stuff out there. And that, so this is going around like that, and then set this to into so it stops messing with it. And then, but you're crossing over motion. So this is one motion, then you're adding another one to go to here, and then another one on top of that to go to here with a turn, and then let's go down here with another turn. It's SFM is mixing the motion on top of each other, and it's not the smartest about interpreting how to get from one point to another. And when you start having small little differences that you want to have it follow, and where you're having the camera turn just a little bit, it starts getting a jerk motion where it'll start sliding sideways and then catch up, and it'll create a stutter look. I mean, this might even have it a little bit. You can usually tell when even when it's slow, because you're putting too much motion on top of each other, and SFM isn't very good at trying to figure that out. And actually, it's probably going to be best if I smooth this. It's gonna be hard to see, but it's because of the sample points here, because it has to save all these little sample points, and if you're mixing motion, it doesn't always know how to interpret that right. And if you start getting like sample points when it comes to motion by position, only has so many decimal points it's working with. So especially since you're working within an XYZ thing, so if you have too many or too small of a motion, it can't calculate it, and so it is instead rounding, and so that's why you get these little jerky bits. But if you have it separated, so you have the main motion of the camera moving in, everything that the camera's doing when locked to another model, it was within a 000 reference. Everything, so it is saying that the camera's not moving, its world is moving. And if you have, so if you're doing the small nuances of just the camera, you're not going to have all this overlapping motion. You're going to have overlapping motion, but not on the same lines. You're going to have it on multiple different bones that all have different frames of reference. So it's going to break things a lot less, and you usually have a smoother camera. If you're just going to be having a simple camera that is just panning from like here to here, like this, you're not going to really need it. But if you're going to be doing a lot of complex stuff, it probably would come in handy separating it. But really, don't bother with it unless when you try doing it, the camera then breaks and it's not looking right, or it's doing that stutter thing. And actually with this, that stutter did come up a little bit, because you can see here that how these points are, they're spaced out, so you can actually see with the camera how it does this little jerk thing. But normally that can be solved by just doing smooth, and you can see it adds a crap load of those little points. Well, probably smooth it a couple times. Yeah, even then it had still a little stutter, but that could be solved by having one camera move through the motion sideways, and the other one, and then locking the camera to a model that's moving sideways, and let the camera do just the rotating portion. So yeah, it is very, very useful to separate, to add a bone to a camera. I just hate losing the ability to go flying with my camera. So, anyways, I hope that answered your question. Kind of went off on a tangent, but actually had a whole tutorial built that explained how to do that, but I never got around to finishing it. Well, actually, it wasn't specifically on that. It was actually similar to. It was about utilizing or modifying an axis of a camera, but modifying its rotation axis is messy, and I found was far from the preferred solution. Oh yeah, I have to get rid of her motion here. You don't have to lock it to the model. If you actually be rotating it, I usually just lock it to it so that I can have them right on its rotransform. So if you're rotating around a model, the rotransform is the most center spot. Once it's locked there and you've got it to the position, you can unlock the root. That's fine. Unless you want to have it where the model's moving and is constantly doing it, then yeah, you want to keep it locked. But the main thing is to lock the camera to the second bone, because every model should have two bones. It's to the not to the non-root transform one. Got your nose. I wonder if I should have her step forward. If I did, it would require bringing a couple legs or forward. It would require this one. Nice thing about SFM is just an undo that's basically goes forever, so I can do as much as I want and just undo it if I don't like it. Not like it really matters. I saved her beforehand anyway. But I'm not doing the motion for going forward. I am just doing the like a quick final pose to see if it's something that actually works. Okay, and actually that spot doesn't work. Let's try over here. Too far forward. Let's try a little further back. Again, I really don't care what it looks like from any other angle but the front. I'm going to be able to get her high enough that without probably not without dropping her backside more. Could maybe work from the front. Looks like shit from all other angles, but that's not really what matters. Yeah, I think I'll just keep her how it was. It's like if I can't find too many good particles or whatever to fit her at the background, I want to make sure I have some kind of extra motion for her. But I have a feeling that all I have to really do is add. And actually, when she gets the end. Oh, and that doesn't even matter because the camera's moving fast. I think if I just give some life to the wings here. I like the wings how they're positioned. Don't have to worry about that. Do just these. It's gonna be like a delayed. feel like I still need a little something. Now you just focus then. That's not gonna work either. Hello. I need to worry about. It goes around like this. Probably is going to throw it out. Same thing with coming back. Okay. Now and it's also coming out here. This tail should probably be yanked. Same thing this direction. Worried about the details on that. Everything else looks fine. The song I'm playing right now is, thank you, SFM. I clicked away for a second and you crash. Flash Pianica? Oops. This one, I don't know what it's from or if it is from anything. So, Prime Cronus isn't going to give details for stuff like that. But no, I don't think it is from there. Well, can't load my autosave. I might have crashed while autosaving. Well, that's wonderful because it means that all that tail work is probably not saved. I'm not going to play it again though. Yep, none of it was. Wonderful. Actually, none of the wings are saved either. Let's see something. Yeah, crashed partway through a auto saving. That's why. Yeah, so I'm not doing that again right now. Fuck that. Okay. I'm gonna do something else because I'm not redoing work right after doing it. I don't even want to touch that shot right now. Then I want to do something else. So. Um. I know I have to modify him. We already did modify him. We gave him a cutie mark anyway. But I can't remember how much I changed him from the original. I don't know how to move it all. Nope. Yeah, that's this one. I have to give him some kind of life here. Like this. Just even having him breathe doesn't seem like enough. Nah, it's fine. I'll just have him do a breathing thing. short of a shot. Technically, I should be doing it like this. Bother with fixing that. I'm just gonna like this. Just found it didn't work out like that. These legs should bend a little bit when they go down. It's just male legs don't bend right. Well, the reason I need to move forward on this is because, earlier part of this is technically going to fade for the majority of the shot, so. I can barely notice it, but whatever. That's not the point. Yeah, I used to have a really long read later list too. This story I actually ended up putting a delay in a lot of them until I got caught up on it completely. But I haven't even, I'm a little behind still. This story's been updating actually recently, and I haven't actually caught up as much as I would want. still move the right even after testing and making sure I hit the wrong foot. And no, I hit the wrong one again. So I want to move the other one. Okay. This one forward. Just a teeny bit.
Hoof too. There. Doesn't seem like much, but it actually gives him life now when he didn't actually have any life. And I think I looked up what color his coat was and all that, and I don't think... Yeah, I was on a big spree for a while reading stories. That's why I think... Where's my favorite on my list here? On my feed. There it is. I don't use the PC version that much.
Yeah, in terms of like favorites, yeah, 133. So yeah, I have a lot that I've read, and I only favorite stuff that I actually really like. I have a couple that I've read that are like, eh. Actually, I have a couple I have to undo because they're from book club. I'm just gonna look at that. For one called Canyon or something like that. I really know. No. Probably should open that in a new tab. You know what? Let's do this. I spelled it wrong, whatever. I thought I did. Raggedy Gray Mane, Eyes are Gray, Unicorn. They don't actually see his color of his coat. Yeah, I'm not sure. I might have to leave it like that, but I'm thinking I might, because he's supposed to be an older guy, but I think the Gray Mane and stuff will give that away. I just don't want it being an iconically looking, for being Cavaleron. Okay, the other thing I wanted to actually try to figure out here is on... well, I have a bright sun. I have a bright... whatever. Look up is... there's this you get from a lens flare or from a bright surface. And I want to try to see if I can figure out how to use that correctly. Not like that. Kind of like this, I guess. Because there is a particle effect, and actually it's a part of... I added it as a part of the lens for particle, but I never actually utilized it because I'd never played around with it to figure out how to make it work. Let's put it with in case I wanted to play around with it. Where are you? This would be... should be no lifespan decay. I think I just copied a lot of this stuff and I never actually utilized what it did or anything. And have I loaded a model? No, just in case. Okay, so that's there. You just see the memory going up as it go. Okay, so that is the right one. I have a feeling that I need to specify the number. No motion. Lock to that. Just shut stuff off to make sure it's not something breaking it. I'm just not seeing it. Well, we could try something else. Actually, I was going to try. It would require me loading up another particle effect, which is the same as doing this. Now that's within the... That's fine. Loading something. So none of it's loading. Wow. I was hoping that was an I. Okay, well maybe it's like this one. Still misbehaving. Particle, they're so finicky. I think I'll have to try creating it from scratch. Actually, let me open up. Okay, so this is the normal lens flare that I have. See, here I see it. is it only working here? That is awkward. Loading it again. And I swear I have it included in this. No, I don't. I didn't include it at all. I included it with the download, but not the rest of it. I don't see it at all. Okay, it's showing up. Is that all it took, was just exiting the shot and coming back? Nope, still won't show it here. Which is weird. Makes it a little harder to work with when I have to require it to be running through here. Well, even so, like, so if I were to put this in the shot, the weird thing is it would require me to lock it to the camera. So what I need to do is, this is rotating over time. I do not, the radius scale, I do not want to have done. It makes sense, but not here. Rotation random. Yes, but kind of. I want its starting rotation to be a little differently too. That's initializer, so yeah, that's what I'm doing here. So initial rotation value of negative 90. Just about. Do negative 75. It's gonna be initial, so I'm gonna be 50 instead. Well, that's further up. I need to go further down. So 120. Not quite 110. Okay. And I do not want it rotating over time as fast. So we're going to put it at 2. Okay, and its life is it's fading away. I don't want it to do that, which means I have to give it a longer life. It's got a light time of 2. I'm going to give it a light time of 4. I actually don't even want it fading in. I want it staying in. So we're going to do fade, fade. We're going to spawn you at 73. I'm ready for 4 seconds, which is the full shot. Okay. At the beginning of this shot, where is the sun? The sun is right. Here. Oh, I just broke where the lens flare is. Sun flare is right there. Okay. So the halo should be around that point. Probably not going to move much, but oops. Not really, but I am gonna move it. So I'm gonna actually keep it to the inside here. The outside then. I wonder if it should actually spin the other way. I don't have it open anymore. So I'm going to say rotation random. I'm going to do -100. And spin and roll, I'm going to put it at negative, or at 1. So go the other direction. 1.5. That's what's causing it to stop. Wow, that changed it quite a bit. Lower spot. Let's try. Kind of. Okay, that's the other problem I have to deal with. This thing is, it works where it is, but it's too far away. I need to get it right up in the camera's, in its focal point. So that's going to be right here-ish. And then let's drop its scale again. No, this one I would need mountains for that. This doesn't have any mountains. But I've been wanting to add this to this theme for a while. I just never played around with it. Do 1/3 the size. Okay, let's see if that keeps it in focus. For the most part, it does. It's just not very bright. It's not really that low on its alpha. The only thing I can think of is it says emit instantly. Oops. And I can, number 2 emit, I can have it emit more, and then therefore it should be a stronger look. Yes. Okay, so it does work, but I don't want it to be that strong. Let's drop it from 5 to 3, and I'm gonna make it a bit bigger. And I am gonna do the radius scale. This one, it's both over the same time period, so I'm just gonna remove that one. Enable start at 1, end at 1.3. That's gonna probably be way too big. I'm just not sure what our time scale is. I'll keep it smaller. Still think it's a bit too bright. Oh, it never changed it, that's why. I feel like it might be too much in focus now. I wonder if I just move it a little bit further out, so it's just outside the focus. No. The thing that's bugging me right now with it is I think it needs to just stay in place. Stay in place and slow down that spin. Ah, I cannot go to decimals. That is the slowest spin it has. Oh, spin rate minimum, never mind. Just wouldn't go any far below that. Nope, that just locks it at that. Miel. I'll play with that later. But it's after 9. But yeah, some of these, the problem is if how that light does that is dependent on the angle of the camera. And I know that having this one, there's more on one side than the other. There was one for that, and you could just have it based on how far away it is and everything from the center of the camera, but that gets messy. So not worried about it. Some pretties though. But next time I will probably redo the tail and hair on Rainbow Dash wings. It was looked good too. So I'll be back streaming on whatever day. What is the next date? Friday. And stuff. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. So, alright. Thanks for coming by. Yay. Yep. Alright. We have a good kitty. There. Oh, there we go. Button. Alright. And then I will go bye-bye. Bye.